Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, that's the thing about this all. Yes, to be concerned about the flooding conditions for the next month and some change, but it's not forever. Just get through this.
Yes, the waters will recede,
Yes.
but those Moab campgrounds, Grand County, actually seeing some minor flooding, and we've been talking about that warning.
Yeah.
And so, yes, for the next little while, we've got to just be careful in their Utah waterways. And then we add storms to the mix.
Woo!
So we're like, stay weather aware.
double dose.
Yeah, we mean it. You've got to stay on top of it. Speaking of those storms, live view from Jordanelle Reservoir, where you're able to see backside of the Wasatch, has some activity going on, and that's not a surprise. We're watching these storms develop with low-lying moisture and the heat of the day adding to instability. So they develop in the higher terrain and then can roll right off the mountains and impact certain areas, and that's the case as you see that live view. Satellite radar shows us those storms on the move. A front came through and changed the wind direction, northwesterly flow, so storms were moving to the northeast yesterday, but now it's all about that northwesterly flow, which you notice we've got some cells towards central Utah and then down south. As we step back, you get a good idea of what's happening. Area of low pressure moving through the Beehive State, which is triggering this storm development, and then high pressure off to our west. Now that high pressure will impact us for the next couple of days as we head towards the weekend, but with moisture still in place and daytime heating, you can't rule out the chance of a thunderstorm. So that is your setup. Temperatures are above average as well. 70s and 80s out there, 80 in Salt Lake. We are just at 86 in St. George with storms overhead, and 82 over in Moab. So running just a few degrees above average, but the passing front dropping temps just a little bit. We'll see those 70s, speaking of dropping, as we head into the evening and overnight. Those temperatures eventually getting to the 60s by ABC4 News at 10, and an isolated chance of a storm holds steady. So eyes to the skies, and everyone has outdoor activities right now, so you want to be careful if you're going to be out recreating. Okay, drought monitor. It's Thursday. Newest numbers are out and we haven't moved, but you know what? That's okay. Last week was the first week since October of 2019 that no one in Utah was battling severe drought. That is number 3 on a scale of 5. Now you'll notice we have abnormally dry conditions in yellow, and in the tan, 19% of the state facing moderate drought. That's really the south central portion of the state and part of the West Desert. But we've chipped away with this record-breaking winter. Now, of course, that means spring runoff can be troublesome. This is the Weber and Ogden River. Jamie Richards sending this in. Hey, thanks, Jamie. You can see picnic tables submerged in that video. Many of our waterways staying high, running fast, and they're cold. So we have several warnings in effect. And areas where we're dealing with minor to moderate flooding. That includes the Sevier River near Hatch, the Green River near Jensen, which was upgraded to a flood advisory today. The Bear River, several portions of it causing some issues. The Provo River is also above action stage. So waterways on the rise. Even if there's not an alert in effect, you should use caution. Live view from Bryce Canyon, one of the areas that actually is facing the possibility of flash flooding today because of these storms. And into tomorrow, there will be several portions of south central Utah and the surrounding areas where the possibility of flash flooding holds on. Arches is the exception. They should be A-OK. Futurecast shows us what to expect. We've got storms for tonight, isolated in nature. And as we zoom in, you're able to see that by tomorrow afternoon, it's really southern and eastern Utah where we're seeing those storms really hold steady. In the north, quieter conditions, and will stay that way for the weekend, but isolated storms hold on for the south. The thunderstorm threat, we step away in northern Utah, but the general risk for central, eastern, and southern Utah holds on. Take a look at these temperatures, giving you a really good idea of what you're seeing, and you're going to notice the 70s and 80s for tomorrow, low 90s in St. George, with the threat of storms holding on for the southern half of the state. Here are those temps. Boy, they're warm in St. George. You like the 90s because you get them. Slight break at 89. I know, I use the word slight very lightly there, with the chance of some storms holding on for the weekend in southern Utah. Wasatch Front staying well above average temperature-wise, and as we head into next week, showers and thunderstorms return with an unsettled pattern, and daytime highs staying in the 80s until Thursday, where we have a chance of seeing the 70s. And you're welcome, Glenn.
I see that 78. You better believe I do. And to answer your question, no, I do not like the 90s.
I know. Sorry about that. You'll stay out of St. George. The folks down south know that it's been pretty hot, above average for the last week.
Not all that much cooler up here, though.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Alana. We appreciate it.